Good morning, folks. We're out camping this morning. We're camping a little campground not far from our house called Mar Park, and it is about 62 degrees and been raining off and on all night long, and it's supposed to keep on raining off and on clear through about noon today. So it looks like we're gonna have a day sticking underneath the awnings of the campers for a while. But this morning I'm going to be trying out the anniversary gift that my wife got me for our 17th anniversary last week. She bought me a Coleman coffee maker that's made to be used on top of a camp stove. I've seen these before. I actually showed her one at the Amish store. They have brand new ones there. Let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box and take a look at it here. I did have it opened up at home and looked at it, and even though it's used, I don't believe this thing has ever been fired. It's been out of the box before, you can tell, but it looks like brand new. Got the instructions with it still. Trying to keep everything setting up way up underneath the awning, that way if it starts drizzling again, everything stays fairly dry. But you can see the decanter looks brand new, crystal clear, clean. And the thing that really makes me think it's never been used is the bottom of the cooker, or the bottom that goes right over the cooker. It is not discolored at all. So I don't think this has ever actually been used. I'm gonna run just a pot of water through it first, and then we'll fill it up again, put some coffee in it and try it out and see how it works. Take a look at the instructions real quick just for the heck of it. Place coffee maker directly over the burners of a 1, 2, or 3 burner Coleman camp stove as shown in figure 1. That's easy enough. Open swing out basket, insert basket style coffee filter, add desired amount of coffee. Be sure the filter is centered, close the basket, fill a decanter with cold water, pour the water into the reservoir. Be sure the decanter is over the warming plate. Light the camp stove. That's what I'm actually wanting to see. Am I supposed to burn the camp stove on high, medium, low? What's it supposed to be? It just says light the camp stove burner as advised by camp stove instructions. Once coffee, monitor coffee brewing process. Once coffee stops flowing, the brew cycle is complete. Turn off the stove and serve the coffee. Easy enough. Makes sense. It doesn't say whether to burn on high, medium, low, what. So I'm going to use Hank's little butane camp stove, because I think that, oh, it's got a cylinder left in it, I bet. Sounds like it's still got a bunch in there. We left one in there, but we didn't leave it connected. There's a little lever that you flip up or down to disengage this. So it didn't leak out all the fuel. That's good news. But I think that the little coffee maker will fit on that stove pretty well. Whoops. And you got a ton of extra room here. Trying to work with everything right here underneath the awning of the camper, but yeah, it looks like it fits pretty well there. This little stove's got electronic igniter, so once I get the water in there, all I got to do is flip the knob and it'll take off. But this tabletop is not great. Well, it is great. It's grating, but it stuff doesn't want to sit super level on it. That's the problem. That ought to be good enough. The ground is super unlevel here, so we got the picnic table propped up on firewood and a piece of 2x8 that was one of the old rotten stairs from the back of Dad's shop. So we got everything propped up to try to get it kind of level here, so hopefully everything will work. I'll get a little bit of water and dump in here, and we'll see. Run just a pot of water through first to clean and sanitize everything, and then we'll make a pot of coffee. We'll just fill the pot right up to the 10 cup mark. We'll dump all that in the back here. We'll run it through here, see what happens. Hopefully the legs of this little stove don't fall through one of the holes of the tabletop and dump everything over while we're doing this. And there, stove lit. I'm going to leave it about 3/4 or so, and we'll see if the coffee starts brewing through there, or the hot water, I guess, on this round. We'll see if it starts brewing through there pretty quickly. While that's getting going, I'm going to start cooking our breakfast. Let's move that kind of around there. Got the old propane camp stove here. I bought this back before I was really big into collecting lanterns and stuff, and I bought it because it's June of 1979, so it's my birthday camp stove before I even knew that birthday camp stoves and lanterns and stuff were actually a thing. I bought this at a secondhand store, and when I saw it and saw the date on the bottom of it, I thought, I better snag that. It's pretty cool that it was made the same month and year that I was born. Go. Well, it's starting to drip through there now. I don't know, it's just been a few minutes. I just ran inside and got a couple more things out of the camper and came back out, so it hasn't been real long. I don't know if it's the speediest coffee pot I've ever seen, but it's doing the thing here. Alright, we're going to start getting stuff for our breakfast mess put together here. I planned on cooking this over the campfire this morning, but everything's wet out there now, so it's going to go over the camp stove. And that big Dutch oven doesn't leave a ton of room for a second skillet on this camp stove, but we're gonna squeeze them in there and make it work. Okay, we have a slight change of plans. Move the coffee maker over here to the propane camp stove where I could get a little bit more heat and get the wind blocked. The wind was blowing right up underneath there and it was hardly doing anything. I'm going to use Hank's little butane camp stove and start cooking the hash browns for our breakfast mess here. Well, the pot of just water is about done running through. It definitely is quicker once I moved it over to this stove and turned the heat up on high. So apparently you have to have a lot of heat for this thing, but it is coming right through there now. Well, it sounds to me like it's just about done percolating. So I'm going to shut that off. It filled up almost to the 10 cup mark and I was just a hair high on it. So I think I'll go probably, I don't know, up about there, up another 3/8 of an inch or so above the 10 cup mark. I'll dump out this water since that ran through it for the first use of it ever. And then I think that we'll put some coffee in there and run a pot through now, make a pot of coffee and try it out. Got the hash browns cooking over here on this stove because they're going to take longer than anything else to get done, especially out here with the breeze blowing and cool morning. They'll take a while to get done cooking. Okay, I'll try to do all this with one hand here. Flip that out. Put the coffee filter in there. Try to roughly measure the correct amount of coffee here. That ought to be kind of close, I would think. Close that little door. Still warm, that's for sure. There we go. We'll light the old camp stove back up here and see if this thing makes some coffee. It's just about done dripping the coffee through there. I got my eggs over here. Hash browns are still cooking. They're about halfway done now. I always start the hash browns first. They take forever. I'm dicing up some onion. I got mushrooms, bell pepper, eggs, sausage, salt and pepper. Mix it all together and make a breakfast mess.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay, I got the coffee pot moved off to the side here. Got a couple of ice cubes to put in my coffee cup so I don't have to wait another 10 minutes to try out the coffee and see how it came out. Pour that and let it set for just a minute, and then I think I'm gonna dump the rest of the coffee in my thermos so it'll stay warm for me. Ooh, a little bit more than what'll fit in the thermos. I'll have to drink that little bit left from the pot first. Get it used up while it's still warm. Let's see if I overestimated or underestimated the amount of coffee to put in there. Nope, pretty good, just about right. I think I could have put just a little bit more. A little weaker than I usually make it, but not too bad. So the old Coleman coffee pot worked pretty darn good. I was telling my dad and my uncle out here, it seemed like it was taking a long time, but when you start your coffee pot at home, you walk away from it for 15 minutes instead of sitting there staring at it the whole time. So it probably really didn't take any longer than standard coffee pot. Now we're going to get the rest of the breakfast cooking here. This Dutch oven with legs on it, you got to kind of straddle the grate to the burner and try to get it lined up to where it's in the center over the heat there. But I'm going to start out getting my sausage cooked up here. Oh, Willis made it out here. A pound of sausage is done. I got 18 eggs from our chickens at home, all whipped up now. I'm gonna dump that in there with it and let the eggs start cooking. And I got bell pepper, onion, mushrooms. I'm gonna go ahead and dump all that in right now too. Mix it all up. I'll put the lid on, let that cook for just a little bit, and then when that's all cooked, we're going to add in the hash browns and mix the whole thing together into a big old camping breakfast mess. It ought to be good. I'll turn the heat down on this. Leo, get out of there. Leo's licking the raw eggs down there. Get out of there, you bonehead. Turn the heat down on this a little bit. Put the lid on it. Let it cook for a little while here. The coffee's good though. I'm working on my second cup here. Okay, the old coffee pot worked good. I just took the grounds out of it, rinsed out the pot. I'll probably make another pot of coffee in it tonight, and I can pack it all up and put it away, and tomorrow morning I don't have to drag the stove and all that stuff back out. So this evening or sometime this afternoon, I'll make a pot of coffee and put it in the thermos, so I got coffee to drink tomorrow morning. But all in all, it worked pretty well. And you can see now it does look like it's been used, so I'm pretty sure it had never been used when I got it out this morning. I figured that it would show some discoloration on the bottom after being over the fire for a while. Alright, the eggs are just about set up enough to add in the hash browns here, and then let all that cook together for just a little bit, and we will be having breakfast. Dad's over there on the tailgate of his truck cooking toast on the little Coleman gas grill, and we'll have egg mess, toast, and coffee for breakfast real shortly here. Okay, here we go again, trying to do everything with one hand here. In goes the hash browns. A little bit stuck to the bottom there, but not bad. There we go. Throw those in there. Mix that all up and let that all cook together for about another 5 minutes or so until everything's nice and hot. The hash browns are still on low, but the part that was touching the skillet was still hot, but the ones on top, I picked one up and ate it a minute ago and they were cold. So mix everything together here, let it all set for just a few more minutes to get everything good and hot, and it will be time for breakfast. Now we just got to see if the two older kids are even out of bed yet.
I'll go check.
Which I would guess they probably are both still laying in bed. Alright folks, I'm not going to record when everyone else is out here, but so I'm going to just about call this a wrap. I would say the Coleman coffee pot was a success. I figured that, Willis. Got breakfast mess. Dad said the toast is done. I'm going to let that cook a couple more minutes and clear everything off the table so we can try to pack everybody in here just in case it starts drizzling again while we're eating breakfast and have some breakfast. So if you haven't already hit the like and the subscribe button, please do. Free for you, it sure does help us out. If you enjoy our content and you want to help the channel out, the best thing you can do is just let those ads roll when they come up. I know they get kind of annoying, but I tell you almost every time I go in on every video and take out half the ads that they automatically try to place in there. So when an ad comes up, just let it run. We're gonna put the camera away, get the table cleared off, and get ready to eat some breakfast. So thanks for watching. Come on back next week. We'll have a video or something here for you to watch.